That's a big surprise for a Wolcott family. A meteorite, there it is, crashed right through their roof. Larry Beck said he thought it was just a rock dropped by a plane on Friday night.
But NBC Connecticut was the only station there when scientists confirmed otherwise. We have live team coverage beginning with Jeff Saperstone in Wolcott. Jeff.
Lisa and Jerry, this is actually where Larry was sitting on Friday night. He was just watching television. Across the room, that's where he heard the loud bang. And this right here, you can see the ceiling damage. That's where the meteorite came through the roof. He says it's something he won't soon forget. When Larry Beck heard a loud noise on his roof Friday night.
So I just thought maybe something let loose up there, a board or something, and pushed it.
He never suspected it was a meteorite crashing down from outer space.
All the sheetrock was broken apart and was on the floor.
But that's exactly what scientists at Yale say this softball-sized rock is after they examined it this afternoon.
The darkening really piqued my interest that this was something that came down through the atmosphere at a very rapid speed and was vaporizing on its outer shell.
Larry's friend John Bajoni, a meteorologist, came over to inspect the rock for himself. It's heavy, solid black on the outside, gray and somewhat crystallized on the inside. All the signatures of a space rock.
For an astronomer, and I'm a meteorologist, but I know a fair amount of astronomy, this is like winning the lottery.
The meteorite crashed into Larry's home around 10:30 Friday night. At first he thought a piece of concrete fell from an airplane since he's right over the Bradley flight path. Wolcott police even called in the FAA to investigate.
It is amazing. Whether it was a piece of concrete dropping from a plane, the hold of a plane or a meteor, either way, it is an amazing story.
But it was a meteorite. Luckily, Larry was on the other side of the room watching television. The rock never fell all the way through. A copper pipe stopped it. You can see the markings. Scientists say once in the atmosphere, meteorites can travel between 200 and 400 miles per hour. An out-of-this-world story on a quiet street in Wolcott.
My wife says, she says, it can only happen to us.
Amazing, and no one was hurt in all this, and that is the good news, but there is a lot to repair, including the ceiling here, the roof, and probably some pipes as well. He'll know later this week if insurance will cover any of this. For now, we're live in Wolcott tonight. I'm Jeff Saperstone, NBC Connecticut News.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, a loud boom was heard along the shoreline just before that meteorite came crashing down, and we wanted to know if that could be the cause. Our Amanda Rouse went to the experts to get answers. She continues our live team coverage outside our New Haven studios. Amanda.
Lisa, those experts say it most definitely could have been that meteorite that really caused that sonic boom heard even on the Connecticut shoreline. Although it didn't happen exactly, that sound didn't happen exactly when the meteorite actually hit the house in Wolcott. Instead, it happened when the meteorite came into the atmosphere and then exploded. When a big boom could be heard along the shoreline Friday night, people started to wonder about it, even calling Branford police to ask what it was.
I heard a rumble and then my whole house shook. Do you know what that is?
They didn't at the time, but now they have a possible answer. It could have been this meteorite when it exploded and broke up in the atmosphere.
Where the sound is heard could be up to 40 miles away if it's a big explosion.
Experts thought that's what had happened, but had to actually see the softball-sized piece of space rock to positively identify it. Only NBC Connecticut was there as Dr. Stefan Nicolescu looked at a piece of it under a microscope at the Yale Peabody Museum.
I have to admit, yes, it is a meteorite.
He says this is the 5th one to hit Connecticut and the 3rd to hit a house here, which is pretty unusual.
In 1971, one meteorite came through the roof of a home in Wethersfield. 11 years later, in 1982, another meteorite came through the roof of another home, still in Wethersfield.
He says this one looks like it came from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter and could be about 4.5 billion years old. An ancient piece of space now sitting in Connecticut.
It's the real deal.
It is the real deal.
And a fun fact here, of those 3 meteorites that actually hit homes here in Connecticut, they all happened in towns that started with the letter W. 2 in Wethersfield, now this one in Wolcott. Live outside our New Haven studios, Amanda Rouse, NBC Connecticut News.